welcome to the final episode of this season. Really excited that you've stuck with us till the very end. Thank you so much for the engagement. Thank you for your likes, for your comments, for your posts, for your questions. They've been really helping us to come up with new topics and how to keep everyone engaged and getting prepared for season 2. But first, let's wrap this up. So today I would be talking about budgeting as a young professional. I bring this to you as the final episode because, last week we talked about preparing, but most importantly, we really focused on preparing for a job interview. And the next step to a job interview is getting a job offer and getting that money and getting really excited for the added income and the extra disposable income. And so that's why I really want to talk about budgeting, so that when we're looking at these different job offers, when we're looking at our expenses, we're allocating funds the right way as a young professional. It's so easy to get caught up in just spending as you go, spending as you get it. You have it, you don't have responsibilities as much, you don't have kids, you don't have a family that you really have to spend your money on, and so it's so easy to just spend. And so that's why I think this is a topic that's really relevant to young professionals. So budgeting. I really started getting into budgeting 3 years ago. I wasn't very strict about it at the time. I had a financial planner. I met with a financial planner that looked at my financial state at the time and gave me some advice and all of that. And we kind of worked with what we had. And so at that time, I lived with my dad, so I wasn't very serious about money or things like that. I spent as I got, but 2018 I got really serious about my spending and about my budgeting, because I had racked up all these credit card debts that I knew that I needed to pay off because the interest were killing me. I specifically had this one card, and I was saying to myself, goodness gracious, it feels like you're not paying anything. And I was paying about $300 on that card every month, and it felt like I wasn't paying anything. So my cousin and I, we hustled that year. We drove Lyft, and I was able to pay it off that year, and I think all of my cards that year actually. And so that boosted my credit score. And as you know, in the US, credit score is really important to the different financial moves that you can make. And so I was able to really pay down that debt in 2018. And I really started getting serious about saving, about allocating funds the right way. And that year, when I got a new job, when I got my promotion, I knew I was going to be getting an additional income. And so I needed to be very intentional about how I spent that money. And so what I did was, I knew I wanted to move out of my dad's house, and I started to weigh the pros and cons of renting versus owning. And I decided, okay, I will own, and worked with a bank officer and was able to save up to buy a house. That story for another day. And so that's when I really got serious about budgeting. I sat down with my financial planner, and we really looked at the state of my finances, my assets and liabilities. And he really broke it down for me to say, okay, well, you need to be saving this much, and you need to have this much in your financial, this much in your savings, this much in your 401k, this much here and there. And you need to know how much you're spending for every expense monthly. And so I started working with a spreadsheet, and I sat down, pulled open a spreadsheet and put every expense that goes out of my account every month. And so with that, I was able to allocate my funds accurately. I knew how much disposable income I had after saving, and I knew how much went to my bills, I knew how much went to my mortgage, I knew how much went to different expenses, and so I was able to get a better picture of where my money was going, and so I wasn't just spending. Now when someone asks me to go on a trip or make one big expense, I have to think about it. I have to make sure that I go back to the drawing board and look at my budget to make sure that I can fit it in. Just because I want to be very intentional about spending, I try to do a scale of preference. Oh, I want to do this. Is it a want or is it a need? And is it priority right now? Or can it be pushed to a later date? Oh, I want to go on that trip, or do I need to go right now? Or can I wait a few months just to really make sure that I'm fitting it into my budget and making sure that I'm using my disposable income and not spending credit card money that does not belong to me. And so I try to be really, really strict. And so as a young professional, that's something that we need to pay attention to. One of my friends just spent the week with me, or 2 weeks with me, and we had talked about budgeting and something, and she mentioned eating out, or that we need to order, and I said, I haven't ordered in a long time. I haven't ordered since I moved here. And she said, what? Not even Uber Eats or DoorDash? And I said, no, I have not. Usually I buy my own grocery. I make sure to have all the raw foods that I need at any given time in the house, so I don't have to buy food if I can help it. Plus, I'm trying to keep fit. So I try not to eat out as much as possible. When I eat out, it's mostly maybe celebrating a friend's birthday or something. I just try to be very intentional about spending. And I feel like as young professionals, we don't really think about it as much, just because, again, not a lot of responsibilities. But take hold of your finances. You want to make sure that if there's a crisis, that you're ready for it. COVID-19 happened out of nowhere, and a lot of people are out of a job right now. I'm fortunate to still have a job, but a lot of people are out of a job right now, and it's unfortunate. They have to file for unemployment. You still have that privilege to file for it, but you also want to make sure that you're in a good position if in the case of an emergency. So budgeting is really, really important. Start with just knowing what you're spending your money on. Use Mint. Mint is a really good app. It looks at your spending, it tracks it, tells you how much you're spending on shopping, tells you how much you're spending on groceries, tracks how much you're spending on rent, electricity bills, and all of that, and make sure it keeps you in line. So you can try it. It's an app that you can connect to your bank account and your credit cards and make sure that you're staying on top of all of your expenses. As far as budgeting goes, another thing that I would want to touch on is saving. Try to save as much as possible. Any little bit helps. Last year or 2 years ago, I started to use Acorns. That's ACORNS. It's an app that just takes change from your bank account. So if you connect it to your checking account, for instance, what it does is if you spend like $3.72 on something, it takes that 26 cents as change and saves it for you. And so last year I needed to change the brakes in my car, and I couldn't pull the cash out of anywhere at that point. And I just remember that I had Acorns, and I opened it and I had $500 or something saved from just change. And that's from not looking at it for months. It just took change, $1 here, $2 or something there, and saved it for me without even thinking. It was just an unconscious saving. I use that. I use Digit as well. It's an app that looks at your spending activity. It looks at your spending and just takes money out of your account based on what you spend and based on how much that you have. So if you don't have a lot of money, it won't take money from your account, and if it sees that your bank account is running low, it transfers money back into your bank account. So it's there's so many ways that you can utilize technology for your budgeting needs and to make sure that you're keeping track of these things. Yeah, that's all I have on budgeting. So one of the things that I'm going to do next season that I want you guys to watch out on is for budgeting, I'm going to try to bring a guest speaker on. I'm trying to work with my financial planner to see if I can bring him on to really talk to you guys about the opportunities that are available from the financial planner perspective. Again, I'm not a professional, I'm just speaking from my own experiences and what has worked for me. And I hope that it helps you and you're able to tap into these resources and utilize them for yourself. So that being said, thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Oh my god, 8 episodes. You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. It's been really awesome. We went through all these topics and really talked a lot. We learned together and it's been awesome. And I hope that you guys stick around for season 2 because it's going to be fun. Amazing. Yeah, full of good information. Trust me, I'm already planning it and I'm super excited to keep sharing with you guys, and I hope that you guys can bring questions. So what's next? What's happening next? So season 1 is wrapped up. What we're planning to do is between now and season 2, I would be hosting different live sessions and answering different questions. So I would definitely put out the post before that to ask you guys if you had questions and inform you guys when the live would be. They would be more informal than this. It would just be me and my camera sitting in front of it and answering your questions and addressing different things that maybe I did not go that deep into or did not expand upon as much as you would like. So stay tuned for that. Really grateful. I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate the shares. I appreciate you guys just being here and watching this. I know it's a lot to just sit down and listen to somebody just ramble on and on and on and on and on. I'm having fun with it, but I hope that you guys have had fun with season 1, and I hope that you're able to. I hope that you've taken good tips from this because that was my hope, that you guys would find this very useful for your career. That being said, thank you, and have a good day. Okay, let me sing a song. Bye.